this was not an intentional act. No matter how many times you say it over and over, it was not. No matter. I have a lot of, and this has nothing to do with the victims, the families of the victims. And as a matter of fact, I'm grateful that they had the opportunity to voice their opinions and their frustrations and their angers, because I believe and hopefully that will alleviate some of the wounds. I can never point a finger at them and say they're wrong for what they said, their opinions, how they feel. Never. And I won't do it. I won't do it now, and I won't do it ever. They're well within their rights to feel how they feel.
What's up, everybody, man? Here we go again with another Darrell Brooks special from your big homie Dice. So check it out, man. I know we're a month out or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I had to get through them holidays and do what I had to do, you know what I'm saying? I do apologize for that, you know what I'm saying? So we'll get back to everything. And we're going to start off with part 2, like I said, like I promised. And we starting off pretty much close to the middle of where I went back a little bit from where we left off at before, just so we can get a whole, you know what I mean? Like right before when he starts talking to attorney Opper, you know what I mean? And I did say Opper for the one person that got in there. It's not attorney Opera, it's attorney Opper. Out of the whole video that I did last, that was what they pointed out. Like, what about some of the good points I was making? You came in my comments to correct me, but I appreciate it. You know what I mean? I kind of messed up the name or whatever, but you know, the show got to go on. I'm doing a live show, so I had to just keep going, but everybody got the gist. Anyway, we're jumping back into the final speech of Darrell Brooks, where he tries to give his plea and try to appeal to the people in the court, like basically before sentencing and stuff, right? And like you hear him right now, he's saying, you know, he won't be mad or won't blame anybody for their opinions of him and stuff that was in the courtroom, that he's glad that everybody was able to voice their opinions, and hopefully that will alleviate some of the wounds, which I'm sorry. I mean, them just saying it out loud is not alleviating no wounds. Like I swear this dude has a bad habit of saying the wrong thing. You know what I mean? But anyway, man, y'all know who it is. It's Big Dice, you know what I'm saying, from DDM TV. Thank y'all for tuning in, and let's go ahead and continue with the video, and let's get it in. Sorry for the late night, too, but I found time to get it in, so I decided to get it in. Oh, one more thing, man. Thank you to all the new subscribers. We hit 3,000, and I'd have to say, man, just doing this Darrell Brooks stuff, man, a lot of new subscribers came through, and a lot of new people have been coming daily and leaving comments. And I just want to let everybody know that I definitely appreciate all of you for all your support. Please hit that like button, man. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel, and let's go.
I felt a lot of frustration and anger yesterday, not towards any of the victims. It was towards Miss Susan L. Opper.
He got a big problem with attorney Opper.
Again, I choose to take the high road. in spite of the clear language that was used by her, not gonna fire back. I'm not gonna do that.
Look, like I said before, what do you have the fire back about? Like what do you have the fire at her about? She's part of the prosecutors. She's part of the district attorney. This is her job to do this. Exactly what she did. Get you 6 life sentences plus 1,000 years. And she did her job well, I have to say. You know what I mean? Whether I come from the streets or anything, bro, I don't agree with what Darrell Brooks did. I definitely don't agree with how Darrell Brooks carried himself in the courtroom, acting like the victim in front of victims. Like right now, he's talking about some, like, matter of fact, not even just right now. Like through the whole court sessions, all the court sessions, he act like anything attorney Opper. Make sure I get that right before people be coming for me in the comments. But he act like attorney Opper was like a friend that did him wrong or something, or an adult treating a kid wrong. Like how he say, I'm not gonna fire back. Like his feelings is hurt because of anything she have to say about him. And honestly, I don't think she was able to say any of what she wanted to say. So you kind of got off light. But nobody in that courtroom is feeling your sympathy or anything, especially when you went through this whole thing still not able to apologize or feel any sympathy for the victims. Yet you get up here with this passionate plea for mercy, basically. Passionate plea for everybody to understand him. Just like he said, I want to start this off first giving honor and glory to God, the Father Almighty, and all that stuff. And it's crazy because when he said that this doesn't faze me one bit, I'm over this or whatever, they called him on it. So then he comes back right here to say the reason why he said that is because when this accident happened, he decided to turn his life over to God again. But hasn't he been preaching the whole time like he's this holier than thou Christian? He did it in the interrogation room. He did it in every court case. Carrying his Bible, he always tried to throw God up as a prop, religion up as a prop. Just like everything else in his life. Just like in the interrogation, remember how the detective was trying to get him to pay attention to where they was going after they got off the domestic violence case. He was trying to get him to focus on where they were going in the investigation. He kept taking it back to Erica Patterson. They say you ran over people and you was speeding all up out of the park and you went and you injured people. Didn't necessarily say he killed anybody, but you injured people. And all this dude can say is, man, I can't believe she did this to me. I can't. So what about the domestic violence? Is that case when she come back and say it didn't happen? Are they gonna drop that? Like totally disregarding where they were going in the investigation once they came to the whole parade thing. He tried to keep them from even saying it, like it was just gonna go away, but it didn't. And then even when he finally did acknowledge it, he went into Erica Patterson. If I had not met up with this girl, you guys know I would have never even been here. He didn't say I would have never ran over all the victims or ran through the parade route, because even with a faulty throttle body, my thing is, whether you can stop or not, what made you turn down where there was so many pedestrians? And I'm surprised nobody hit him with that one. You know what I mean? Crazy, man. Hey, and anybody that's in the chat, if you can't hear me or anything, please let me know early so I don't do a whole show with no sound. You know what I mean? Sometimes these softwares and stuff mess up. But anyway, let's continue.
Am I angry? Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
That nigga teeth bother me.
When it boils down to it, the whole prosecution team had a job to do. Can't be mad at somebody for doing their job. Attorney DYSE, Attorney Whitchild, I respect you guys. Regardless of what you may feel about me, I respect you guys. I really do.
And now, mind you, Attorney Whitchild is the one who called his ass out on the whole Erica Patterson situation and being a pedophile, basically being a registered sex offender. But you respect him, and you got a problem with Attorney Opper? Why? Because Attorney Opper tore your ass up in that court, didn't she? So I didn't understand that. Like, he had a personal issue with Attorney Opper, when all she really said that offended you was the defendant. And I will say, just like I said in my other video, she did say it like that, even though Judge Darrell said that she didn't. And I mean, I reserve words for Judge Darrell because, I don't know, we leave that one alone. But anyway, let's go. My bad. My bad for stopping it. Salute, Dog Mom. Appreciate you showing up. I really didn't think nobody was going to show up being so early in the morning.
The difference between all you guys is, you, Attorney Opper, I don't respect how you did your job. And I never will.
Not that she has to care.
But I refuse to get in a name calling. I refuse to raise my voice. I refuse to do any of that.
What is in this nigga mouth?
And I realized that last night. The part of me that I don't understand why it goes the way it goes had every intention to come in here and lay into you.
See, like, it's something about this dude that think he's still out in the street, that he's still out in the hood. You're telling the district attorney, I had every intentions to come in here and lay into you because of how you feel about what she says. You're getting mad about the way she's talking, the way she's carrying her part of this case, because this is a court case. This is your fair day in court. And you're right, she does have a job to do, but she's not here to please you. And the way everybody in that courtroom feel about you is crazy that he couldn't feel that energy in there. But that's what you get when you got a narcissistic type of person like this. Because even right now, he feels like this is a stage for him, totally disregarding the victims of this case. That's what I don't get. You worried about what somebody's saying about you, how somebody talks to you. Just like, I forgot what day it was, but earlier in the court case, he comes off and says, Judge, that's a load of crap, because Attorney Opper was downplaying the whole throttle body situation. He took offense to that without acknowledging that people are offended by what you did to them, because regardless, these are still victims that had nothing to do with your mother, with you, nor Erica Patterson, but yet they were right in the middle of it. They had to deal with somebody oh man, let's just continue, because I get worked up over this dude, man. Like, I swear, I'd get locked up for a couple days just to get my hands on him.
of frustration and out of the fact of feeling that I needed to defend myself by some of the things you said. How you had the audacity to speak on situations that had nothing to do with this tragedy, as if you were there, as if you had intimate details, as if you knew everything that led up to those allegations.
That's what she's supposed to do. She's fighting
Just
you
by
in court.
reading the police report. I think every situation is unique in its own way. It all has different circumstances that leads to ultimately what ends up happening. Reading the police report doesn't give you the right to pass judgment on a situation that, frankly, is none of your concern. Honestly, you would think for someone that's been doing your job as long as you have, you would think you would understand that.
Like, mind y'all, he's supposed to be making his plea to the court. Basically, you know, his final words to try to gain mercy, to try to say what he thinks should happen. Instead, he takes this time to jump on his stage again. Narcissist. The cameras is all on me. Like, you guys ever noticed through the whole court case, every time the judge asked him, Mr. Brooks, do you have anything you want to say to this matter? Any matter? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Just so he can get up here and rant and rave. As soon as the attention isn't on him, he has an issue. You know what I mean? Like, dude is thrown off.
You would think that you have some kind of integrity.
Now, mind y'all, integrity means see it his way.
Even with that, not gonna bash.
You have no place to.
Not gonna say anything disrespectful. Not gonna call you anything other than your God-given name. As far as the integrity, though, I won't ever be able to wrap my head around
like the way he pauses like he's in deep thought just to say something stupid. Watch, here it comes.
why you did things the way you did it.
He took all that time to
Made
say just
reference
that.
to this being an open and shut case.
Exactly, dog mom. This fool had the audacity to mow people down, and you worried about what people have the audacity to do to you in the courtroom? Especially after you showed your ass the whole court proceeding? Like he's doing right now? All these long pauses and stuff just to waste time. Now, mind you, they also intercepted a prison call where he even explains to somebody on the phone that he's going to waste as much time as possible. And that's all this was for him. Because even when he has witnesses up on the stand, all the questions he asked was not the way you fight a case. Then you made it personal between some of the people and stuff, especially the officer that did the interrogation on you. The guy that gave you the jacket, let you use his phone so that you can call an Uber. I never heard somebody call an Uber before. He even told the officers in the interrogation that he called the Uber. Bow, you know what I'm saying? This is the address. Have any of you ever been able to call an Uber like you can call for a cab? Or do you have to order an Uber from your phone app? Like, come on, man. This dude, everything about this guy says all he's ever done is lie. This is what you call a compulsive narcissistic liar.
Yet you needed a whole
The fact
team
that he used God for him, oh my God.
to prosecute an open and shut case, as you say. And again, no disrespect to Attorney DYSE, Attorney Whitchild.
Definitely took this time to shine. Look, Attorney Opper, this case beat her down. She is exhausted. You can see
Like
it.
they was the reasons why
And
your
pissed
case
off.
had any strong points, not from you.
Look how he personalized it. He said the other two attorneys is the reason why this case had any validity. You know what I'm saying? Any strong points, but not from Attorney Opper. Well, he said, not from you. Personalizing it. Just like he even tried to treat Judge Darrell like that was one of his women. Crazy, right? The way he would talk to her and stuff, and I get it. I get it when people say she's trying not to give him a chance in the appellate court, which, if anybody know anything about any court proceedings, he didn't have a chance. He screwed that up a long time ago. So I do think Judge Darrell, in my opinion, should have had a little bit more integrity up on that stand. Because who really came for him was actually Attorney Opper. And that's why he's pissed off now. Because she did her thing. So that the other two attorneys, the district attorneys, that whole little setup, that whole team, tore him to shreds. And a few times even Attorney Opper got kind of frustrated with Judge Darrell and the leniency she was given to this dude.
$31 you said. Well, yeah, you did say 31 years that you've done this. 31 years. I don't believe you're that bright. Yet, I respect you having the resolve to take on something of this magnitude for this community. Can't do nothing but respect that. And regardless, when I leave this courtroom, I will have no ill feelings with anyone.
I don't think anyone in there cares. This dude said he would not have any ill feelings for anyone. Basically, not the judge, the attorneys, or even the victims. Not even the audience in the courtroom. He won't have any ill feelings. But where does he get off? Where does he think he get the right to have any ill feelings? Like, bro, this ain't somebody in here disrespecting you. Like you can you guys see? Or matter of fact, can you feel like I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say because he makes it all about him. And now, mind you, I come from the street, from out in the streets outside and all that too. And once again, I don't agree with what this dude did. This crime right here was some egregious shit. This was some selfish shit. Like, even when you see the video, the way he's rolling through the crowd and stuff, he's rolling through the crowd like he got his music up and stuff, chilling, leaning to the side. And if you go and check out all his social media and stuff, even the detectives in the interrogation asked him, does he have an issue with white people? Even though he tried to play that down like, man, my mom would have my ass if she found out I was doing anything like that. So that's not what it is. And you can always tell what it was because every time the detectives, every time they hit on something, he got like he couldn't control himself. It was like an excitement, like almost like a tail sign, like somebody playing poker when they get a good hand and they sort of jitter or they got a tail sign. Every time the detectives hit on something that most likely was true, because when you look at his social media page, he got a lot of, racial type of incentive on there. Even got a video of how he talked about how he was pimping on Erica Patterson. So you mean to tell me you met this girl in Reno, Nevada? She was maybe 15 at the time. You got her pregnant at 16. And you was so-called pimping her, so you was pimping her before you ever got her pregnant? So not only are you a sex offender for having sex with the lady, but you were out there pimping a teenager? Like, and dude doesn't even pay attention to the things he says at all. Like, he'll say one thing, come right back and say another. He did that through the court case. He did that through the interrogation, and still doesn't understand how much he put his foot in his mouth. And right when this video started, like if you go back to part 1 of this, when he started, when the video started, he was sitting there crying, talking about, oh, I'm sorry it took so long. I'm sorry I'm taking so long. I'm a little emotional. Like, I understand crying because you about to do life in prison, but to sit up in there and cry and not be crying for out of remorse for the victims? Oh man, talk about audacity.
I know this is being live streamed. I believe even in other countries. I've gotten some mail from Germany, Belgium. A lot of it hate mail, which doesn't. I stopped reading it months ago, so it doesn't really affect me. It's irrelevant. I do want to say something to everybody watching, as far as those who
see how he make reference to everybody watching. This is his stage right now.
Energy and money to write and spew hate, not just against myself, but my family, my children.
I should have got that one clip. From what's that movie? Is it Sixth Sense? Or something, that movie with Marlon Wayans. Remember when it's him and David Spade. And remember when he's walking out the little frat party and stuff, they're all screaming, Darrell. I should have got that so I could be clipping that in on his ass.
I have no value in anything that you say. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect me. Keep up the bad work.
Oh, that's something you should say when you're trying to get remorse. And mind you, every time somebody clears their throat in the courtroom, every time you hear somebody clear their throat in the courtroom, because I've watched this so many times, and every time somebody cleared their throat in the courtroom or coughed was when they thought he was saying some bullshit, and it was always right at the time when he was saying some bullshit.
When else, the people that have sent letters of support, I thank you for that, because it's not an easy thing to show love and support to someone who's the most hated man on the planet at this point right now in time.
Didn't acknowledge the victims there either.
It's not easy. It takes a lot of courage to do that. I thank you for that. My family thanks you for that. I want to say to the mother of my children, the mothers, excuse me, of my children, obviously I think I should start with the obvious, Erica Patterson. I want you to know, if you're watching, I always have love for you. You're one of the mothers of my children. I can never hate you.
You see how he make it seem like everybody did something wrong to him? Erica Patterson, Judge Darrell, Attorney Opper, the detectives. He's almost saying the victims did him wrong by standing in the way of the car. The fact that you would try to come up with excuses, even talk about visiting a Brady claim based on a recall to a vehicle for a throttle body. And mind you, I went to go get an oil change today, and it tripped me out because one of the things that they said I'll need to service, which is a cleaning, not necessarily change, was my throttle body on my truck. Crazy, right? So when I hear the throttle body over while I'm getting the oil change today, it tripped me out. I even told the Dodge dealership, like, yo, I be doing reports on this one dude, and that was one of his excuses of why he didn't stop. But Negro, don't the brake work? Couldn't you turn down another street? No, because you went and did this on purpose. And I can't figure out for the life of me why he did it. And the thing I came up with is he was hoping somebody killed him, I guess, hoping the cops killed him. Tried to have suicide by a cop, and I know people might not agree with that, but that's just an opinion. That's not a fact. You know what I mean? And I know people say he's a narcissist, so I don't think he would do that. But then again, narcissists will do things to hurt other people. So if Erica Patterson is acting one way, he's going to try to make her hurt because he's not getting his way. You understand what I'm saying? He's already sleeping out in the back of his mom's house. He can't go in his mama's house, even though he lied and said he live in his mom's house that she owns, but she doesn't live there. And he has his kids usually the back half of the week. But since all this been going on with Erica Patterson, he's been having his kids full time, except for his son, who's a grown man. Now, mind you, he don't have either of his kids. Now, when you're trying to control somebody and you can't control them and you're a narcissist, you will try to do something to hurt them if you can't hurt them physically. And he couldn't do that because it was 3 of them plus a guy that wasn't backing down from him, a female that was with her that she met in a shelter, and she put hands on him. He hop in the car, dip off. All right, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Basically, all right, bitch, you want to act like that? Well, I'm going to make you hurt. Watch this. Because he did bring her up from Atlanta to stay with him. So he already feels like he's the one she should be listening to. I'm controlling you. You're up here only because of me type of shit. Real childlike mentality. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think that he was hoping that maybe driving through all that, he was gonna get killed by the police or something by them shooting him for smashing through there, because I'm pretty sure he seen the presence of police. So there was no possible way he can get away from it, but it didn't happen like that. So then he tried to run, because now that thought is over. Now that thought is over once it didn't happen. He's probably glad it didn't happen. Thought he can get away. What he was going to try to do was hop in an Uber and be already on the road back down to where he was in Wisconsin. So then he can come with the story, somebody stole the truck, somebody else did this. Because I just can't see no other way why he would drive down the parade seeing all the police present. Like, I don't get it. And that's the only thing I can come up with, y'all. Real talk. What up, Jay Quill?
Refuse to go that route. Always have love for you. I always respect you. We got a beautiful daughter. I haven't always been right in the things that I've said.
Look how he put emphasis on the said.
In regards to you. What I will say is, it always takes two.
You see that? You see how he threw that in there? Now, he right. It always take two in certain situations, but it didn't take two for you to run over all those victims, including a child, elderly. It didn't take two to do that. But y'all know how I feel about the situation. Like, people get on me because I'm like, I'm not blaming Erica Patterson. I'm blaming the situation that him and Erica Patterson had. And if she know that they had a restraining order and know how he is, she shouldn't have never went around him. She should have listened to her roommate and not went around him, because their whole situation caused people that didn't have anything to do with it to be involved. If that ain't selfish, I don't know what is. But the situation took two. The situation took him and Erica Patterson. So yeah, I do reserve my feelings about Erica Patterson in this situation, because she's part of the situation that caused the next situation. She's not to blame for the next situation, but the situation itself, the initial situation, was caused by both of them, for the next situation after that to even happen. It's messed up to say, and I can't blame her for the victims, but I can definitely blame her for meeting up with Darrell Brooks. Not once, but 2 days in a row. To which led to victims being ran over, which is all his fault, no doubt. But y'all get what I'm saying? This situation never had to happen. You two people who aren't even from out there, she goes up there trying to get away from you. She's in a women's shelter. And y'all know when females go to a women's shelter, they usually get them away from the city that they're in, because that's where the aggressor is. So for you to even meet up with him was against the rules. That was totally against the rules. And no matter if he go to prison or die, if Erica go to prison, die, or lives free, lives a happy life, it doesn't change nothing to what happened to these families for Christmas. Christmas will be forever ruined. And he has the nerve to go in the courtroom and bring up God through the whole thing? Your belief in God? Like, watch, we gonna get it. It's gonna get to the point in this here video where he talk about how this is God's will. Word? That's what you come with. Exactly, because he couldn't hit Erica.
I pray that at some point you will reconcile with your children, and that you remember who I am here in my heart. that you remember that. My oldest son, who's an adult, his mother, beautiful, beautiful spirit. I thank her for the times that she was there to listen when no one else was, when I couldn't figure out what the heck was going on in life, and I was being pulled to this direction or that direction.
Here you go, playing the mental illness card. But dude has showed that's not true. The only mental illness he has is his narcissistic ways. And that's because he been enabled his whole life. And yeah, I'm talking about from his mama. This go back deep. This go back that far. You feel what I'm saying? He also had a twin sister that passed away. I mean, yeah, you could feel some type of way or whatever, but that didn't make you change your life. Because I feel like you was always this same Darrell Brooks, even when your sister was alive. So you can't use that one. So you got your sister, you got your mom, and you're the only boy? Oh yeah, this was a spoiled little brat. Got his way. Got his way by yelling and doing this, that, and the other. Like, come on. Look at the reason he couldn't go in his mama's house. His mama didn't trust him. This fool took advantage in every aspect of the word through his life. You go look at his social media, this dude really thought he's that dude. You know what I mean? And it just so happened he got himself in a situation that he couldn't talk his way out of, because Darrell Brooks likes to think he's the smartest person in the room. Just like you don't know how to be a lawyer, but you're telling the court what they got to do. Subject matter jurisdiction got to be proven on the record. You know that, judge. Even though she told him time and time again that she's already ruled on that. And in this case, it doesn't necessarily have to be proven like that. How a subject matter jurisdiction got anything to do with it when this is the court of the same city that you committed the crime in?
Just couldn't figure things out. She would take the time to sit and listen, and I thank her for it.
What do you say? That's a lyric. Maybe I'll get it. Type it in the chat for me. Maybe I'll grab it. I'm kind of good at that type of stuff.
I had nowhere to go. She would find me in the back of abandoned cars or trucks or something of that nature, and she would.
Now, mind you, he got a mother, and he's saying about one of his child's mother, how she would find him in abandoned cars and stuff like that when he had nowhere to go. Why you didn't have nowhere to go? Because you're an asshole. Because nobody has to deal with your bullshit. That's why your mama kicked you out. That still don't take nothing away of how she enabled this man through his life.
Things to help.
Even while he was in his jail cell, y'all do know it was his mama sending him stuff, right? It was his mama that sent him the throttle body stuff. It was his mom doing this. His mom sent the pictures of the baby and stuff. Even when he held it up to Erica like some little bratty ass kid. Like, here, look. You know what I mean? And then sat right there and lied to her face like she knows she did this, knowing she didn't do that, because you're in a court case. So of course the attorneys are gonna listen in or get the transcripts of every phone call you make. And they even said how many times he tried to contact Erica Patterson and not one time did she respond. That I'll salute to her. Because it would have been a wrong thing, especially with this court case, for you to respond to him or accept his collect calls.
You know, it's a lot of people, a lot of good people out there in the world still. She's one of them. I thank you.
Hey, I used to, look, hold on real quick. I used to do late night. I used to do the late night shows all the time. And I just happened to do it tonight because I was up and had some time to do it. You know what I mean? But it used to be known as the late night dice. You know what I'm saying? The late night dice up.
Angel.
But I really don't care to do
That's
them
her
this
name
late,
too,
but
by the way.
I had to get one in. I had to finish this one so I can get to the next stuff.
When I was
I'm glad you
all
woke
over
up,
the
though.
place mentally,
Not in a bad way. I'm glad you woke up
couldn't
and tuned
sit
in.
still, couldn't make decisions.
Can y'all hear the build up to the mental
Trying
illness
to figure
plea?
out how life would go being young parents, the both of us. She never once judged me. She never once ridiculed me and downed me because of my issues. She always was willing to be there. I'm eternally grateful for that. Jessica, my youngest daughter's mom. I believe it's a reason why God puts anyone in your life at the time that he does. You came into my life at a time where everything was chaotic.
Still sound like you're writing a letter and you're supposed to be making your plea to the court for mercy.
I didn't have a clue how to even begin to put one foot in front of the other.
Here go the mental illness plea. Now mind y'all, mental illness is real. Mental illness come in many different shades, right? But one thing I could tell y'all is the type of mental illness he's trying to play on is fraudulent. It only comes out when he's trying to find something to fit his narrative. Because one thing I could tell you about crazy people or anything like that, a crazy person don't necessarily know they're crazy. They think something else is wrong. They think something's wrong with the rest of us. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody that's throwed off don't necessarily know that. Especially if that's who they've always been, it's normal to them. But that's not what he is. This is narcissistic behavior at its finest.
You came into my life at a time where I was pondering, what did I even have to live for?
See? And how many times have he basically talked about not living? He did it even in the interrogation room, saying he's just going to take himself out.
In the midst of that, you gave me my daughter, my baby girl.
No doubt, no doubt.
Emotional talking about her in particular.
What song?
Because she's such a daddy's girl. We're very, very close. Very close.
Very close. Did you? Did y'all? He said, "Well, oh, we're very, very close, very close." Once again, like I told y'all in an earlier video, this is a TV baby. If you pay attention to the stuff he's saying, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Just like I can't even remember what he said. But a few times you can catch him basically, like, you're right, using lyrics from songs, using quotes from television. This kid sat in front of the TV most of his life as a kid. Me and my youngest daughter, we're very, very close. Very close. It's almost like dude think he on a TV show or something. You feel what I'm saying? Like, this shit, wow.
I felt like when Missy was born, that was God giving me a chance to make good on the mistakes I made with my other older two children at the time. I felt like that was redemption. Everything that I didn't do right before I had the chance to right that wrong.
Very, very close. Very close.
She's probably the single-handed reason why.
I want to say like a Brother Lynch song or something.
She's such a light in my life. Such a light.
Now he's trying to play on the soft hearts of the jury by bringing up his kids. You notice how he's throwing everything in it, but being sorry for the victims, but taking accountability for the victims.
Understand the extent of everything that's going on. She doesn't know what it is not to be able to talk to me when she wants to be able to see me when she wants to. She just doesn't get it, and I know that.
In other words, let me out because my daughter needs me. Just like he tried to get counts 1 through 72 thrown out due to a throttle body. Ain't that crazy? How many times he tried to get the case thrown out? Like even in this situation, I wouldn't be trying to get no case thrown out. I mean, I'll try to get the least time as I can because I am fighting my case. But where's the remorse? Where's the accountability? Like that would be some crazy stuff for the judge to throw this case out with all these victims. And he thought that would happen?
And I'm mindful that our people.
Yeah, exactly. He's been trying to get his little bit of fame for a long time. And Rizzioti, you were exactly right. I couldn't have said that no better.
Lights in their life that were taken. So without being insensitive to that, I'll move past that. I just want to tell my baby girl that I love her. I love you, Missy.
Negro, you could tell her that over the phone.
My baby boy.
And see, this killed me because if you cared about your kids, you wouldn't have did what you did, which I still can't understand why you did it. When at parades, there's nothing but police around, so why would you do it? Because I don't think anybody would do that I'm trying to go to jail for life. Let me do this in front of the police. No, that's what makes me think he tried to commit suicide by police. It just didn't happen because they didn't shoot him. They shot at the car. And when it didn't happen, because, I mean, spare the moment or whatever, he probably thought later, like, man, I'm glad they didn't. Like, I can't even explain that right, but, I mean, what would make somebody turn down a parade with so many eyes on them, so many cameras, so many police present? Because to break through the barricade that he claimed tore up his truck, there's police sitting right there. A police tried to grab the door. Another officer tried to shoot at him or shoot at the car. It just didn't happen for him. But I do believe
He was born in June.
he was trying to take himself out to hurt Erica. Fuck it, I ain't got nothing to lose.
His mother, Quita. I regret not being able to be there for the times that both of them needed me the most. It's not an easy thing for a woman to go through a pregnancy with virtually no help.
In other words, being the same person he said his father was.
Having to
generational curses,
move residencies because of this tragedy, not feeling safe while she was pregnant, not feeling safe, receiving threats, things like that. And I wasn't there.
It's crazy how people notice all the wrong they did when they're facing situations like this. When they're facing death or prison or something like that, for some reason, all of a sudden in your brain, it snaps. It snaps that I wasn't doing right and I didn't do that. But had this never happened, would you have turned the corner and got your life together and got back in your children's life? Or would you have still been the same Darrell Brooks? Because somebody that's almost 40 years old, you had all those years to be a right person. And it's never too late. It's never too late, because even though you're going to prison, bro, you still alive. You can still make up for that. Now, you may not ever be able to get out or anything, but you can still be in your children's life. You feel what I'm saying? He's talking like this is his last day on earth. Playing on the jury. You get what I'm saying? Like, understand what I'm saying. He's playing on the soft hearts of the jury in a way, trying to plead his case for mercy. He just ain't doing it right. He's doing it by trying to make people feel bad because he thinks in his small ass mind that, oh, you hear me talking about my kids and my kids need their father around, so you guys should let me out because then it's just going to be another black kid with no father. That'd be all right. You wasn't there before. It ain't nothing they ain't used to already, because people can't miss something they never had in the first place. That's just like if I was born with no arms. Like, you see these videos with people that were born without certain limbs and stuff like that. And we might be like, oh man, that's messed up. I'm so sorry for that person and da 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 da. But if that person never had arms and they were born like that, they can't really miss what they never had. They can want for it and wonder what it feel like to be like that. It's just like a boy and a girl. A boy can't miss not being a girl or vice versa because they never have been one. And I know we got, you know what I mean, certain communities out there that's trying to be, but they still can't be one, no matter how you spin it. So like somebody with no arms, you know what I'm saying, they born with no arms or no legs or anything like that. They learn from a baby to live life, to get along and make do with what they got. And it's not even make do because they don't know what it's like to have those limbs. So to them, the way they are is just normal because I've been like this my whole life. Well, that's the same way I feel about kids that have never had their fathers around. Me, all my kids is right here in the house, and my grown daughter, she don't even live here. She live in her house with my grandson. All my kids are right here by my wife, and my wife is upstairs, sleep, because it's not my choice. It's not my choice or her choice to split this family up. Once you bring kids in it, now it becomes part of their choice. And I think people are real selfish that don't realize that. So you and Erica, and from what I know, from certain people that I've talked to, even somebody that was in my chat on my last video that was breaking down who these two people are from back in the day, Erica and Darrell wasn't right. So I know everybody tries to put Erica up on a pedestal and stuff because she's a victim of him, but at the same time, Erica ain't in her kid's life. Erica wasn't in her life even when she wasn't around Darrell. None of her kids' life. So she doesn't necessarily live a proper life either. So when it come down to it, I can't praise neither one of them, not even Erica, because Erica wasn't being a good mother to her own children, which in turn will ultimately, unless they're under a good household, and even that, them kids will wonder why their parents are so messed up, which perpetuates the same generational curses that keep getting passed on from generation to generation with people like this. Like, again, I'm not about to be holding my tongue for Erica Patterson just because everybody thinks she's a victim. She is a victim in a way, but she's not a victim like the victims that was ran over by somebody they didn't even know was coming. And by the time they turned around and seen where the noise was coming from, some people was already hit. Like I said before, one girl was on his hood. This Negro hit the brakes, then proceeded to run her over with no remorse. Yeah, through this tragedy, like he's suffering from this tragedy like he was an onlooker or a victim. Nah, you're the aggressor. You're the antagonist.
Be at the birth of your children and see them born and cut the umbilical cord and to do all those things. I've done that.
I think it's like that too. You know what I'm saying? Like a scared rabbit. I think it was like that too. But where I'm perplexed at is, if that's the case, why would you turn down a block where you clearly see police and a lot of people? So if I'm doing a lot of racial stuff on my social media, plus I'm mad at her and want to make her hurt in some way, and I'm put out, I want to make my mom hurt, and everybody in my life is just so wrong. Well, this is what's gonna make them take notice if I just die. Because I mean, how many times has he talked about suicide? In the interrogation room, in the courtrooms, everything. He even just said, I wish I just wasn't even here. Told the detectives, I'm not about to do life in prison. I'm gonna take myself out. Even though, those are ploys to try to, he was trying anything for them to just let him go. Which turns right back to spoiled ass little brat ass kid that was enabled all his life, that's always been able to talk his way out of everything that's went on in his life. But what I don't see is anybody purposely putting theirself away for life right in front of the police. So I don't get that. That's why I say, I feel like in a way to try to make everybody in his life hurt, being that he's staying out in the back of his mom's house because supposedly his mom didn't even tell him he can take the car. He hopped in the car and dipped out once he found out where Erica was, somebody that he had since a teenager that he thought he can control. And when he didn't have that control, he lost it. And everything stacked up, I don't know. Like I said, that's just an opinion of the facts that I'm seeing, like, because there's no other possible way that I can see anybody doing that on purpose right there in front of the police. And where he first went in, there were police right there at that barricade. Those are the police that shot at him. Then to take it all the way back to all the little racial stuff that he had, against white folks on his social media, I definitely think he was trying to go out by suicide while trying to take these people down as far as white folks. or white Americans. Let me say it like that. He had something against all of that. At the same time, trying to make things hurt, but might as well take some people out while I'm at it. It's ignorant thinking. Truth be told. But if we spin it any other way, then we're acting like like the nigga has some sense. He ain't had no sense. He didn't have no sense. But I still can't see him putting himself in this situation on purpose. Not without there being a reason. And the only reason I can find is he was hoping that the police shot him and took him out before, you know what I'm saying? While he was doing that. Not because he wanted to die, not because he wanted them to kill him, but all because he wanted to hurt the women that's in his life. Because if you hear him talk about his family, the only other boy in this whole situation is his son. And his son don't mess with him. He got daughters, he got Erica, his mama, his sister gone. You know what I mean? Seeing how much it hurt for his sister to go, I'm gonna make them feel that pain again. I don't know. Shit, I can't even explain it right because it's a little far-fetched, but you can't take it off the table.
For her and for him. To only know what he looks like because of pictures. For her to not feel safe to be in the city or be around my family members, to build that rapport, because she can't mentally deal with everything that comes with. And for me to not be able to help her, for me to not have any words to uplift her, her expressing her anger to me, not knowing how everything would go. It's hurtful. I want her to know, I believe God has a plan for everything. And
you could be right. I thought he was shot at twice. I thought he was shot at on the way out from the officers down there, and the officer that tried to, and the officer in the beginning that tried to open the door or grab the door handle or something. I could have swore he shot at him also. But I could be wrong. You know what I mean? But I still don't see why. Like I don't see trying to get away with so many witnesses right there. I just don't see that. You know what I mean? And thinking the way that I think from where I come from, he wasn't caring about no witnesses or nothing. He purposely did that. Now, I'm not sure if his messed up way of thinking made him think he might be able to get away with it or what, but I don't know. How do you expect to get away with that if you're in your mother's car that's directly connected to you? The car is in your mama's name. So it's a whole lot of factors that take place that you can look at this many different ways, but it still doesn't change the fact that all those victims got injured. And I know everybody only talk about the deaths, the 6 deaths, including a child, but there was multiple more victims that got hit and ran over. They just didn't die. But some people were messed up for life, not only physically, but mentally.
Say what you want about me.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll definitely get on that.
Walk away from my children. I refuse to walk away from my children.
Although he's already walked away from his children.
I love all 4 of you.
This is sickening right here. This is sickening how this dude is using his kids as props. Just like he used God as a prop, he's using his children as props. Because if you really loved your children, you'd be in your children's life. If you really loved your children, then you wouldn't have did this that completely takes you out of their life. If you loved your children. And he got nerve to say the audacity to Attorney Opper? Nah, Negro, the audacity of you, bro. It's bad enough. You know what I'm saying? There's absent fathers in all races. Too many, if you ask me. Yet he's gonna sit up here, use his kids as a prop to try to plead to the jury and the judge as far as sentencing. Well, not to the jury because they already found him guilty, but to the judge as far as leniency on sentencing. Because once he get to the end of it, when she finally cuts him off, then he finally says what he really wants. But all of this talk for an hour and 21 minutes or probably even more, I think it was like 2 hours of talking. That was all building up to say I need a facility to go to. I need help. You feel what I'm saying? So all that stuff he did in the courtroom, all that shit was one big play.
No matter what. A lot of reference yesterday was made about death. In reference to opinions towards myself. I do not fear death. Not one bit. I do not fear death because I'm in Christ. Whether we believe it or not, at some point, we all have a date. Everyone on this planet has a date. In the word, it says that it is appointed to man once to die. The way I see it, it's inevitable, so Why I fear it? I'm 1,000,000% confident in where I'm going when this is all over. 1,000,000% confident.
In other words, trying to tell everybody he's going to heaven.
I'm 1,000,000% confident in where I'm going.
Crazy, right?
We all got to stand before the judgment seat of Christ at some point.
Did this Negro just say judgment seat?
All of us. Nobody's any better than the next person.
You hear him clearing throats? Because he said some bullshit right there.
Contrary to belief, I do not feel like I'm above anyone. I don't feel like I'm superior to anyone. I breathe air, I drink water, I eat, I go to the bathroom, I bleed just like anyone else. I'm no better. I'm a human being. I'm
definitely, dog mom. Big slap in the victims' faces. No accountability, no remorse. Still talking about himself and his life.
I'm a human being that's been trying to figure out for 35 years. Questions that I've never got the answer to.
Here go that victimhood.
I noticed yesterday in a lot of the victims' statements that a lot of the victims are going through the healing process. Believe it or not, I've prayed for all victims' family members for a year now to be able to make it through that process.
Look how he did that. You see that backwards ass accountability? For a year now, I've prayed for all the victims and their families to be able to make it through the process. Not that I prayed for forgiveness for a whole year from the victims to please forgive me for this awful act of mine. I almost said tragedy, but he said so much I didn't want to say it. You know what I mean? But that's some backwards ass shit. You pray for them to get through. Come on, man.
But it is a process. It won't happen overnight.
He's out of line. You're sitting here telling them, oh, it's a long process. You guys will get through this. Like he's giving them, the victims, a pep talk.
There was a big question of if I was paying attention, if, this, that, or the third, which I won't really get into. I definitely was paying attention. And I heard in a lot of those statements, people that were having their own mental health issues.
See how he rolling into it?
Recognizing what it was, others not so much. But that's what it was. A lot of things that...
It's my mental illness that made me do this.
You just can't quite wrap your head around. believe it or not.
I like that. How you said that.
You're
I'm
talking
rubber,
to
you're
someone
glue.
that's dealt with those same types of questions
Facts.
for a long time.
And you're just now recognizing it?
Questioning life itself. Questioning what's the point of being here,
Here you go again.
to go through all this pain, to go through all the doubts, feelings of inadequacy I can relate to firsthand.
Yeah, that was crazy. Ben Rizio,
made fun
that
of
was
and
crazy how
joked
he looked right at the camera too. Keep up the bad work. Like, dude is a coward.
About being jeered at, being bullied,
Being the victim.
growing up, I can relate to all of that because I've been through it. Not knowing if you even want to wake up after you go to sleep. I've been through that.
Now just peep how much he talk about not wanting to live. You see where I
Wondering
get
if
my
you'll even
analogy
be
from?
missed when you're gone.
Still trying to play on everybody's heart.
The weirdest hours of the morning, just sitting
While still not understanding how rude he's actually being.
up and just finding something to stare at. Hoping that an answer may just fall out of the sky on you.
Now, mind you, he say all this, but if you go and check out any social medias that he may have had before it was deleted, if anybody got a chance to see any of it or any of it that may still be around, it don't seem like he was living life like that. Looking for answers. Not wanting to live. To me, it looked like he thought he was the bee's knees. he thought he was the business. You know what I mean? Out there, red rags, blood ganging, gang banging, supposedly pimping with no hoes. And if you had your baby mama out there selling herself, especially as a teenager, oh bro, nah, you a new type of low. Shit, facts. He's a new type of low. Like, I haven't seen low like this dude. And that's why this court case was so intriguing, because I had never seen no shit like this before. Like, people running people over, yeah, whatever. I've seen stuff like that. I've seen stuff like that as far as court cases and stuff like that. But the way he carried himself in the court and in the interrogation, and his whole mental mind state that he be in, I've never seen no shit like this.
Me, myself, I've, like I said, raised Christian, but it's been so many times through the years that I've doubted God. It's time. I think everyone in this room can say that. If you believe, you've doubted, you've questioned, you've wondered.
Living color
Been in
used to be my
situations
shit.
that just can't figure out why. How did I get here? What did I miss? What didn't I catch? What didn't I see? How did it ever get to this? How did it ever end up with this?
What is this? Say it. Take accountability.
At some point we've all been in that position. Obviously, in my shoes, it's a little different.
This video is so long, it is definitely going to be a third one.
I said before.
Probably not next, but it's going to be a third installment of this. I see everybody leaving. It's getting kind of late and early. People got to work. I get it.
Don't have any understanding. I can't sit here and be what people would want me to be. We're all individuals. We all have our own ways of looking at things, and we all
nothing.
Personalities or whatnot. That's what makes us unique. Is our individualism. How one person may react to something, another person may feel the same exact way, but probably not react the same way. People can agree
exactly the whole 40
on certain
years
things and still have a different approach.
Look at the play he's playing. He's playing the play of try to make everybody feel where he's coming from by saying what we all go through. We all have our own opinions. We're all unique in our own way. And that's going to lead up to the whole God made me do it type shit.
And listening to all the victims yesterday that had the courage to speak and state their opinions and vent their frustrations and their anger and everything. I heard a lot of what should have been done, what could have been done as far as to
and no, he can't read the room. Like, I don't think nobody in here cares about none of this he's talking about.
Showing people what they wanted to see. I just ask that there be understanding to that there's a side out of the courtroom that's not seen. What's seen in the courtroom is just a small piece of the whole puzzle. Just a fraction.
Well, I mean, we've seen what happens outside of the court.
Majority of the time,
you ran people over.
In the courtroom or sitting in the courtroom. It's not a day. It's not an hour that goes by that I haven't thought about.
Look how he does them. Look.
What's happened.
Still no accountability. You think about what he's saying, there hasn't been a day gone by that I haven't thought about what I did and it hurts me, I'm so sorry or anything. It's just, there's not a day that goes by that I haven't thought about what happened. Dude needs to be smacked.
Tried to wrap my head around how something like this could happen.
Still about him. Like, he won't even acknowledge the victims. Yeah, he say victims and stuff, but he won't even acknowledge the victims. especially that little boy. Like, come on, bro.
But I haven't thought about the pain that you all are in.
You probably
What
sit in
was
your
lost
cell
in
and
the
laugh at their
fashion that
pain.
it was lost. Contrary to what people may think.
Oh, definitely. Most of them will help him get to death's door if they could.
You get to a point though, and obviously it's different.
And look, mind y'all, this is where I stand on it. I don't think that Darrell Brooks deserves death. I really don't. I think Darrell Brooks deserves to suffer the rest of his life until he dies. Death is too easy, and I've said this a few times while doing these videos. I wouldn't even look for the death penalty for this. That's too easy. That's taking him out of his misery. I think Darrell Brooks Jr. should sit in prison, rot, and suffer. And I also think that he should be in 23-1, 23-hour lockdown by himself. And that's not due to the fact that, oh, they're going to harm him on the line, because I'll take that too. But I think he'll suffer a lot more sitting in a cell. Trust me, I've been in them cells. I've been there. And I know what they're like. And I think he should suffer for the rest of the years of his life with no opportunity to take himself out. Because trust and believe, this is the type of person, narcissistic and all, but sitting in a cell, if he can find a way to take himself out of that misery, he will.
With me being in this position and people being on the
I'm gonna end it here in a little bit because I know people got to go to work. So, like I said, we're gonna do a part 3, but I'm definitely not gonna hold you guys up and have you guys tired for work or anything. I kind of did this in the middle of the night just for the upload value, so people can watch it in the morning when they get up in the afternoon or whatever. But I do appreciate all of you guys that came through and rolled it out with me. I appreciate that, definitely.
On my end, you get to a point to where you just
Fenrizio and Dog Mom, y'all been the greatest in the chat. I appreciate the chat action from you both. Along with Jay Quill, I appreciate you all.
You've prayed all the prayers you can pray. You never stop praying, but it's repetitive at this point.
Like, listen to what he's saying. I've prayed all I can pray. Oh, you never stop praying, but it's repetitive at this point. Like, bro, you saying all the wrong things in a place where where the only thing they're looking for is accountability. Like, that's why I say the best prosecutor in that courtroom was Darrell Brooks. This man prosecuted himself. Got rid of his lawyers and got himself 6 life sentences by his actions, by his words, by his non-accountability. Got himself 6 life sentences. That's a life sentence for each life lost and 1,000 years for all the victims. And like he said, I can't serve 1,000,000 years. You're right. You can only do 1 life sentence, and she ran those consecutive. For those that don't know what consecutive mean, that means he got to do one after the other. Concurrent means he do all the time together. It's all counting together. She gave him 6 life sentences plus 1,000 years consecutively without the possibility of parole. That means if reincarnation is real, and they find out that Darrell Brooks is reincarnated, no matter if it's Heather Tisdale or Brian Acme or Philip Johnson, if they find out that energy belongs to Darrell Brooks, he's going back for another life sentence. Because you still owe 5 life sentences and 1,000 years. I'm bullshitting, but y'all get what I'm saying, though.
You get to a point where you're completely drained. You don't know what else you have to give.
I'm gonna have to do a show where I allow some of the viewers up on stage to voice their opinion about this whole situation.
Many court dates.
I think we might figure out a time to do that.
All these proceedings that
Real Mad TV in the building. What's up, bro?
I wasn't even sure if I can even come in the courtroom without breaking down. It was times where,
if you guys are subscribed to Real Mad TV, man, y'all go subscribe. He do a lot of good stuff too on politics and all that stuff.
Make it through a court proceeding. When I did have representation, it was times where I told my representation, no, I don't.
He definitely be on them politics.
I just didn't want to come in the courtroom. It was because mentally I could not handle it. I couldn't.
Still about himself. You see this? Mentally, you couldn't handle it. What do you think that everybody in that courtroom is going through mentally, especially the families of the victims? And you got nerve to sit here talking about, I couldn't show up to the courtroom because mentally I couldn't handle it. I'm gonna use his line. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh man, this guy is a piece of work.
Having to be prepped for everything that I was gonna walk into. Them telling me, it's gonna be this kind of atmosphere and expect this and it's just like, wow. How am I gonna do this?
How you gonna do what? You should have took a plea bargain, idiot.
I want everyone to know, though, when you walk out of the courtroom and the cameras aren't rolling anymore.
That's because he thinks he's the smartest guy in every room he goes in.
At you anymore. That's when you can.
Damn, where'd that comment go? I hope didn't nobody delete the comment.
Go back to your cell. Drop your tears. Pray.
I wasn't even done reading that.
Punch your mat if you're frustrated. Sleep it off. Whatever you may choose to do. And I wonder how
this dude act like he's
different if the cameras was rolling then.
Man, let me just hush on that one. Yeah, I was gonna tell you drop your link, bro.
Courtroom. How would it be then?
So is he basically saying? Did he basically tell on himself that he's acting a certain way in front of the cameras? Because he just said when he's back in his cell punching the mat, frustrated, all this, that, and the other. And then he says, I wonder how it would be if the cameras were rolling then. What? So they can see that side of you? So they can see you crying and frustrated and stuff like come on, bro. He definitely sucks at reading the room, Finrizio. He definitely sucks at that. Like that. Because without accountability, then your frustration is just being frustrated about the situation. The fact that you're somewhere that you can't control.
Done things in our life that we regret, that we're not proud of. That we don't know what we were thinking.
And Tony Opper, like, I'm ready to go home. This dude right here.
That's been like a roller coaster for me in this year, a roller coaster. And obviously, just everyday life, some days are better than others. That's just life in general. Some days are just better than other days.
I'm telling you, bro, act like he's in an NAAA meeting. Like, please, God, allow me to change the things that I cannot change. You know what I'm saying?
You heard my best friend speak a little bit earlier. About
y'all do know, like mind you,
I guess it
not one time through the interrogation or this long drawn out court proceeding did he ever actually like mention what happened or the victims. He made brief references towards it, but never really took accountability, never really acknowledged any of it.
would be more happier times, but even then, you put on a smile to hide the pain.
It just sucks that people like this gotta hurt other people in this world just for this world to rid ourselves of people like this.
Long before November 21st, 2021, long before that day, I was struggling. Long before.
This long drawn out plea is all about trying to say I got mental illness when he could have just said that.
Then feeling hopeful. Then feeling depressed. Then feeling happy.
Here go this nigga with his
Then
animations.
feeling upset. Just up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. %90 of the time, not even knowing why you going from
Definitely
point A to
that's
B.
suffering.
Why is it going like this? So I think you do a lot of things to numb that. Some people have different things that help them numb it. Some people turn to drugs. Some people turn to alcohol. Some people turn to many different things.
In AAA.
Some people isolate themselves. Some people, however you deal with it, it's how you deal with it. At that point in my life, I chose to put up a front. No one seen me for how I truly felt, then there would be no questions. You see someone and they always have an upbeat appearance, or seem to be smiling, or seem to be in a joyful mood. There's no reason to like what is there to question? How much turmoil could it be?
Which I don't understand, because from the way it sounds through his whole life, you've been the one that tormented everybody. Because you made everything about yourself. So you went off on everybody else, then played victim to every situation in your life. So what's going on in your head that you got so many issues and questions and dad wasn't around and this, that, and the other, that you're the victim? Well, if you're the victim, then why are you terrorizing everybody in your life, including people outside your life, that all they wanted to do was go to the Christmas parade? It was Christmas time. Christmas music, everything playing. Like, you ruined it. Like, you ruined a joyful holiday for them. I know not everybody celebrate Christmas, but those people did. Those people were. That little boy was expecting for Santa Claus, which, you know, we adults, so, you know, we know the real. But that kid was expecting Santa Claus to bless him under his Christmas tree and him open presents. His own brother will never have a good Christmas, because every year they're going to be reminded. So every year you get to live in their head rent free. You punk ass. Let me not say nothing that's going to get my videos flagged. But man, I almost got loose right there, dog mom. I almost got loose on this dude.
Say is every time I see them, they're okay.
I'm glad you caught this one, because I low-key did it after your comment, just so you can catch one. Facts.
It's not. But I do believe one thing, though. As long as you have breath in your body, no matter what you're going through, where you may be, what struggles you have, what you can't figure out, you have to find a way to press forward. You have to keep faith, and you have to press forward. I think
like, he's literally just grabbing things out the air.
Paul said it best.
Prolonging just so things will stay on him. TT, what's happening?
Apostle Paul said it best when
Thank you for coming
said,
through.
One thing I do, forgetting what's behind me and straining toward the upward call, of which Christ has taken a hold of him. Straining forward, which,
like, check it out. Like what pisses me off is, like, with me, I know for the victims, he needs to take accountability for everyone. But for me, like, you can't even at least acknowledge the little boy that you took out, the kid. Because in the interrogation room, you was like, a kid got hurt, a kid really got hurt. But not one time through the court case did you mention that kid, nor did you mention the other victims. And I don't mean just saying victims, or this was a terrible tragedy. You told everybody seems to forget that I'm a father myself. Well, as a father, that would have torn me to pieces. Specifically that one, if this was me. And it all would have broke me up. But as a father, knowing that I took out that little kid, oh, that would have killed me so deep inside, man. I can't even fathom where my mind would be.
Acknowledging that it's difficult. Acknowledging that there'll be opposition. There'll be hurdles to jump. There'll be mountains to climb. It's not going to be easy.
Had to get your coffee.
Acknowledging that by saying straining. Straining.
Like, but he wants everybody to treat him like a victim. He wants everybody to have remorse and care about him. People that don't know you and give two flying fucks and can give two flying fucks about you, because the way they met you was the same way the victims met you, not even knowing you. You just popped up in their life. Like, that's got to be crazy. We are all these people sitting at the parade, we chilling, and at the blink of an eye, here come this shit, running people over. Like, and I mean plowing through people. He can say all day, oh, the barricade is the reason why the truck looked like that. No, those are people. That's how hard you're hitting people. That you're damaging a vehicle? Come on, man.
Learning. Is it frustrating that sometimes people mistake that for not caring? Yeah. It's very frustrating. As hard as it is, you cannot turn back the hands of time. You can't. As much as I wish I had the power to do that.
Yeah, because the you know how he talked about the judge. You know what I'm saying? I think he thought the jury was the one to hand out the sentence too, because the way he talked about the judge, like you're just an umpire. You're a public servant. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many left turns that he made in this case that ruined him. You would have thought this was a NASCAR race, as many left turns as he took.
So I have to look at life going forward, not backward. I have to look at
I got what you were saying. No worries. He has to look at reality. Still didn't take accountability though. Whole bunch of faces and gestures. He's an animated character. You know?
I've moved past the actual tragedy of the day of November 21st.
Ouch. Every time I hear that part, it hurts. Why would you say that in court? Especially in your plea for leniency speech. You move past the tragedy that happened. You should be the last one to move past it. Because what you're doing with everything you did in this whole court case was you're still victimizing people, because you even took all the victims' families and the victims, even the jury. What you took away from them is sad, because you took away their ability to forgive you. That's why I say now, around the holidays or probably forever, this guy right here that they don't even know get to live in their head rent free. Because based off of everything he did, everything he said, he literally took away the ability for anybody to forgive him.
2021, but I have not moved past uplifting this community in prayer, and I will continue to do that.
And I'm sure some people will just for their own sanity, but man, that's got to be hard. I don't even forgive them for this.
I won't stop uplifting the communities in prayer, the victims, the families. Regardless of how anyone feels, I will continue to pray for them, because that's what I want.
You see what I mean?
My heart to reflect.
I will continue to uplift this community, and no matter what anybody thinks, I will continue to pray for you're praying for the victims? What about I will continue to pray for forgiveness from the victims? Like, you act like they got a problem with them, like they did something. You're praying for them? No, pray for yourself and pray for forgiveness. Mr. Holier Than Thou. I'll smack the shit out of this dude.
Be, misinterpreted what I'm saying by that, by saying I moved past the actual day. To clarify that so there's no misconception.
He should have just turned to drugs. He should have pulled around a back alley and pulled out that, we'll just say, peace pipe, and did his thing and went home with his green blaze slippers on, with his made up friend Marcus.
That doesn't mean that my life has to continue to be defined by that. I refuse to.
None of this is what you should be saying right now.
To live at that time, because that time is past. We can always say shoulda, coulda, woulda. Nobody knows what they'll do until they're in that situation. It's easy to say, I would have did this, I could have did this, I should have did this, I would have did that. You never know what you're gonna do until you.
Yes, we do, because I would have never put myself in that situation. I don't care how bad life is. You'd have been better off just taking yourself out. And I'm not promoting that, because I would never promote that to anybody. But you would have been better off just taking yourself out. What do you mean nobody knows what they would do unless they're in that situation? No, nobody knows what they would do on the casting couch in Hollywood unless they're in that situation. You turning down a parade route was a choice that you made. And once you were already in, that's called commitment, son. You sound stupid, bruh.
Actually there. Does anyone think I haven't asked myself that? Man, I should. Why didn't I? What does it matter now?
Damn. Boy, a cold piece of work, ain't he?
How many times can I pound my fist against something and say, why? How could this? Why? How many times before you just
what the fuck? Like, what's up with dude? This animated bullshit. And then the things that's coming out of his mouth, like, bruh, you have no sympathy, no empathy, no remorse, none of it. No love in your heart, no accountability, nothing. This is what you call a dark individual. And he will always be that dark individual. So the best place for him to be is not even death. It's to be locked up for the rest of his life. In that small ass cell by himself.
Just like
Oh, thank you, dog mom. I definitely appreciate you. This fool said, ooh.
Matthew 6, 14 and 15, forgiveness.
Here we go. Now we talking about forgiveness without taking accountability.
For if you forgive other people when they sin against you, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you do not forgive others their sins, your Father will not forgive your sins. That's Jesus himself, God himself.
But he ain't talking about forgive your time. That's not what he's talking about. Now, if we're just talking about forgiveness, okay. I get it. And the Bible does say that. But the Bible don't say nothing about forgive him and not give him like a life sentence. Oh no, you will still be reprimanded. He don't even know what he's talking about. He rambles.
I point no fingers towards anyone in judgment.
And see, his problem is he doesn't know when to land. He doesn't know when to land the conversation. He does not know when to end. And unfortunately, a lot of humans are like that. They'll just keep talking because they don't understand how to end it. He don't know how to stop. So he's just going to keep trying to throw whatever he can in the mix to try to get what he's looking for. Although he has repeated himself a few times already.
Say, how could you say this and how, like I said before?
Yeah, I want to know how you could say that. I definitely want to know this. Let's listen. Y'all.
How people process this tragedy is
there go that word again,
how they
tragedy.
choose to. I could jump up and down and yell and scream about what was said in regards to me.
Did you hear that? Here you go again. I could jump up and down in regards to what was said to me. He's still talking about what somebody said to him instead of taking accountability for what he has done. Like I said, I ain't never seen no shit like this before. Real talk.
But why? Everyone has to make their own peace with God. And that's what I've done. Regardless to what people think, I've done it. I don't want that to be confused with being at peace. It's a process, but I've made my peace.
How? How is that even possible?
That
he's still robbing that little boy of his future with being who he
I made
is.
the comment that I have a clear conscience. It was not pertaining to remorse. It wasn't mockery. It wasn't to thumb my nose at anyone. That wasn't what that comment was about.
And what really got to Judge Darrell, what really got to her was that kid. I mean, of course, all the victims, but that kid got to her. Like, she even started crying with her speech when she started talking about the kid.
I've chosen to do that because it was needed. It's easy to lose your way in a world because the world is, as we all know, it's a big place, all types of things.
It's crazy how he speaks in matter of fact when he talks because he thinks he's the smartest cat in the room. But it's crazy how he speaks in matter of fact. But wasn't he just saying that he can't, he been looking for the answers to all the questions he has? But he always speak like he knows what he's talking about. So that's a direct contradiction of what you just said earlier. If your mental health is, I'm looking for answers and, you know what I mean? That means you don't know shit, but you can tell everybody what life is, what God wants, what is and what isn't, and can still skate all the way around accountability and remorse. Fool, you ain't crazy. You played crazy. You played crazy on your family all your life for pills and disability. You's a 2-bit hustler, nigga. That's what you are. And this is your karma. Because the only thing that's real about Darrell Brooks is the karma that he's facing. And truth be told, I'm sorry to say, because I don't want kids to not have their parents, but when it comes down to situations like this, including Erica Patterson, no offense to anybody that is rocking with Erica Patterson, but this is why I say everybody shouldn't be out just making babies, because them kids never asked for you two to be their parents, especially you. And truth be told, this is a situation where I think the father should have been removed away from the kids, just like he was and placed in prison. Because the best thing to happen to your children's life is for you to not be in that shit. Facts.
All types of it's easy to get caught up in
I definitely have issues with Judge Darrell, and at one time I thought she was cool because she did carry herself with decorum and civility, like she said. But there's something that's missing there, and you didn't execute. Even Attorney Opper kind of called her out a few times in a nice way, but it's one of them situations. If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? Attorney Opper was definitely like calling her out respectfully. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, why are you letting him get away with this stuff? Like, why are you not dropping the hammer on him? And I know people gonna say because she was trying to protect the appeal. Nah. Well then no judge would get vicious on the defendants or anything at all. If that was the case, she could have been a little bit more stern on him. Cut shit off on him. Not just let him ride. Like, how many rants he had where he just get to talk for a whole hour about nothing? How many times did she have to turn the jury around who's there getting paid a little bit of nothing, missing their job, getting behind on bills, and they're not going to compensate them for that? Do you know how much the jury get paid? Oh, it's nothing. They might feed them and stuff, but they get paid nothing, and they got to be there. Miss work and everything. People lose jobs due to jury duty. It's crazy. They shouldn't, but they do.
To live the rest of my life trying to please other people. I still have a long way to go to get to where I need to be.
Yeah, hoping the jury nullify.
But my life now is about pleasing God. It's about what he wants, not what I want. It's about what he wants, not what everybody else wants.
Well, in that case, God said, give them 6 life sentences
God's will.
And damn near 1,000 years.
Yet another comment that was taken out of context.
Here we go with the God's will, because I got something to say about that too.
A comment that again was not meant in a disrespectful manner in any way. Was not meant to thumb my nose at anyone.
That's a fact, Copycake. He damn sure should have addressed each individual and apologized.
It was the acknowledgement that God is in control of everything. Everything. The good, the bad, and the ugly. He is in control. That's what that was pointed towards. That and that alone.
Now we're going to blame God.
For those of us who do believe, we've always been taught that God, his way is not ours.
Look, now before he continues on, God's way is not ours, but also he didn't make you do this, neither did the devil. This is a little thing that we would that if there is a God that created us, the higher power, the higher energy source, which which we come from somewhere. One thing that's instilled in us that may not be instilled in most other living things was free will. So I hate when people try to use God like I don't even believe in that when it's your time to go, it's your time to go. Things happen by chance. Things happen by choices, situations you put yourself in. You know what I mean? Or else it totally contradicts free will. If it's already written, then how do we have free will? If everything's already written. So no matter what I do, no matter if I eat healthy, unhealthy, no matter what I do in life, when I go, that was the day I was supposed to go. I don't believe that. And I do believe that people teach religion a lot of times in the wrong way, the wrong manner, and use religion to fit certain narratives in a lot of places. We got to remember we live in a world that's based off of control. And if I can control your free will, then that free will ain't free. Then where you know what I'm saying? It totally contradicts itself. It totally contradicts choice. So you mean to tell me Satanists, God already knew they was going to do that? God already knew they was going to be Satanists, atheists, all that type of stuff? That's already written, so we don't have a choice in the matter. So no matter how I live my life, it's still going to go the same way as it was always supposed to go. So what's the point of stopping anything or trying to be better or cleaning up from drugs or anything? So the day I decided to clean myself up from this or stop doing that, that was already written. Like, come on, man. But then we all will say we have free will, freedom of choice. The two cancel each other out.
What he sees fit to do, we can't stand in the way of it.
In other words, I wasn't in control. God took over my vessel.
We wish we could, we can't.
You can't blame God, fool. And yeah, I call him fool because he claims to be a believer, but he's definitely a non-believer. He thinks he believes, but this guy is a fool.
Frankly, sometimes that sucks.
Blame it on God, but still don't take accountability.
I never thought I would be standing here not being able to enjoy a time with my family that anyone would enjoy with their family. People lost loved ones.
And you think it was God's way and God's choice to make you go over there and kill all those people and injure all those victims right before Christmas on a joyous occasion when everybody's enjoying themselves, so that was just all their time to go in the egregious way that they went. So you didn't have control of your arms or nothing. So you mean God went over there and made you get into a situation? He purposely placed Erica Patterson up there, made her respond to you, tell you where she was, and then make you speed out of there to go run people over, just so they can die and you can end up in life in prison? Nah, bruh. You're not gonna blame God for that. You're gonna blame free will. That was your choice. And there's no other way to spin it. You made a choice, which was a wrong choice. But at the same time, I don't even think you even understand the choice you made. I don't even think you, like he said, he's so smart, he's speaking in so much matter of fact. But one of his biggest arguments was, I still don't even understand the nature, you know what I mean, and the causes of this, how'd he say it? The nature of the charges against him. Once again, not taking accountability. That was a slap in the face. To sit up in that courtroom and say, you don't understand the nature of the charges brought against you? Out of all 76 counts, you didn't understand it? You didn't understand why you were charged like that? This nigga's an idiot.
Or they feel the same way.
We're going to get ready to end it out here in a minute, man.
Now because of something like this. That is not lost on me. To suggest that I don't care, out of everything that's been said during this whole year, that's probably the hardest one to digest.
So running over all those victims and stuff is not the hardest thing to digest? The hardest thing to digest is people saying that he don't care. But care about what? Because you still haven't taken accountability for anything. Yeah, we're going to have to end this here in a minute because I'm getting
to suggest
irritated.
I'm heartless.
You are. You definitely are.
Mr. Brooks, what do you think this court should do as far as the sentences are concerned with all of these convictions?
And that, what she just said, was what she asked him in the beginning. That's all they wanted to know. What do you think should happen in this situation? He beat all the way around the bush, insinuating what he wanted, but never said it until she asked him. Then the nigga go around and asks for help, a place where he can go, where he can be medicated. Nah, nigga, a place where you can go so that you can be on those psych drugs the rest of your life and just ride it out high. No. Don't even get that nigga ibuprofen. Make him sit in that cold ass damn air conditioned cell, because you know they keep it hella cold in there. Worse than hospitals. Make him sit in there with a thin ass blanket, hard ass mattress, nothing in there, because he can't get no canteen. Any little piece of money he get is going to be taken for restitution. They probably won't let him be around anybody, so he won't be able to put no money on another person's books in order to order canteen for him. So for him, it's 3 hots and a cot. Period.
Honestly, Your Honor,
Yep, you exactly right, Coffee Cake. They definitely care about him. They gonna feed him and take care of him.
And I don't
You
want.
even got your own security.
I don't want this to be taken out of context.
And that's why he didn't say it before. Because he thought it was going to be taken out of context. He was too scared to actually say the words.
I believe
It's like he wanted so bad to say, you can't handle the truth
there's
in the courtroom.
issues with me attempting to answer that. And here's why.
Like the long pauses he take, it seemed like he's going to say something intelligent. Then he come back with some dumb shit.
I'm still confused.
Here we go. Here we go.
I'm still confused on the true nature and cause of the charges. I don't understand them.
All that talking, you still don't understand the charges, though.
I also,
We need to, man, I wish there was a way to rid the world of people like this. The world would be a better place.
I also believe a decision was already made before we even got here. And I could be wrong. That's not a shot. It's not a slight in any way.
No, it's just trying to make everybody feel bad.
And I don't want that to be taken out of context as well.
Let us be lenient on him so he don't think that we already had them. Man, come on, stop.
I will say,
Uncut baking soda.
help is needed.
Yeah. The Jackson Sparks Foundation. That's dope. Dope tribute to the little boy. Definitely.
When you've dealt with certain things as long as
I
have,
see. I have. You brought your dealings to innocent people, though.
we have so many questions about where to start. Where to start. We have so many questions about what can give you the help you need. Who can point you in the direction to get the help you need.
You should have been asking for help before you did
so
this.
many things that you just you don't know where to start at.
Anyway, we're going to save this one. This one is going to be a little short one. The next time we check back in with this, I got another video that I want to get into probably later on today or tomorrow. And we'll save the end of this, the mental illness part, for a whole new title, whole new thumbnail, and a whole new show. So we can break down the whole mental illness plea at the end. Anyway, man, I really do appreciate all you guys for tuning in, coming through, supporting your boy Dice. Man, you guys couldn't even understand how much love I feel from all of you and all the new subscribers that have came through. All the kind words in the comments, all the kind words in the chat. And I gotta definitely thank Real Mad TV, Dog Mom, Coffee Cake, and I gotta look at the name just to say it right. What's it? My bad. I'm messing it up. I do gotta see the name just to say it right. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna have that name down because I like the name. I definitely like the name, so I'm gonna get that name down. But let me get to the name just so I can get the proper shout out. But it was shout out to TT Love also, but Fenrizio. I'm gonna just call you Rizio. You know what I mean? I had it. I just didn't want to say it wrong or whatever. But anyway, I salute all you guys. What's up, Tree TV in the building? I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, and we will be back. I'm gonna try to go. I'm gonna try to do another live either later on this afternoon, or we'll definitely catch it tomorrow morning. Anyway, man, salute to all you guys. Man, you guys were here with me through the middle of the night. We was up in this piece. You feel what I'm saying? But anyway, this dude right here is a fucking coward. Point blank and period. And on that note, salute to y'all, man. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the faculty. Man, this was a long one. Salute to y'all, man. Y'all have a good morning. Peace.